Hey, hello everyone. If you can send a message here in the chat just to say where you're from so that we can start. So that would be great. So just say hello. Just sent a message to you here in the chat. So we're gonna wait something around 5 minutes until we have more people here, and then we're gonna get started, okay? So if you can say hello, and maybe you can ask some career questions right away, because then you can make the most of this live. If you don't ask, you won't have benefits. Okay, so let me see if you can join. So say hi in the chat and ask your questions because, like I said, that's the way to improve. If you don't take any action, you can't go to the next level. So feel free to ask your questions so that you can go to the next level. So just say hello on the chat. Otherwise, you're gonna wait something around 5 minutes and then we're gonna get started. Hello, Ramesh. How are you? Where you from? What you're doing? Are you a Java developer? So just say here, just write down in the chat if you have any questions about your career. Because like I said, if you don't take any action, you can't get much value off of this life. So ask your questions. Tell me what's your biggest challenge in your career? What's your biggest challenge with technologies? Tell me your position as software engineer. Tell me if you are a junior, if you are intermediate, senior developer, or if you are unemployed. Tell me your biggest challenges because then I can help you. Otherwise, I can't do anything. So let me see. Okay, so we have João. Hello, João. I believe you are Brazilian. Okay, so Ramesh is saying, biggest challenge for me is to move up in the career, getting to be highly paid software engineer. Okay, so what is your current position, Ramesh? Tell me. Are you working with Java? What's your tech stack? Oh, Portuguese. Okay, that's great. Awesome. So and are you working with Java, João, or Ramesh? What's your current position? Okay, 13 years of experience. That's a lot. Are you a senior developer, Ramesh? Staff. Awesome. Okay, so what position do you want to go exactly? because you are already in a high position. You are staff software engineer. So what do you want for your career? Distinguished software engineer. That's awesome. That's awesome. Senior software engineer. Great. And what is the tech stack you are working with? Okay, so you want to become a highly paid software engineer. What's preventing you to become a highly paid software engineer? Because you should be highly paid as a staff software engineer. So what's preventing you to be a highly paid software engineer, Ramesh? You should be earning, you should have a high salary already. Okay, Hussam, another one from Portugal. Interesting. So we have two people from Portugal. Ramesh, where are you talking from? Okay, oh, Java 6. Oh my God, I can't believe that companies are still using Java 6. That's insane. Okay, yeah. So Ramesh, an option, I don't know if it's something that you want to consider, but maybe moving abroad would be an option for you because you have a lot of experience and the market wants developers like you. So that could be an option for you to be a highly paid software engineer. Oh my God, Java 6 with GWT. That's horrible, Hussein. I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's unbelievable that companies don't make the effort to at least go to Java 8 because Java is retrocompatible. Like, how can a company allow to use Java 6? Uh, that's technology that's older than it's 10 years ago, more than that, 10 or 15 years ago. It's very old. So, well, many countries, Ramesh, in Europe, you can find good salaries, or in the US, Canada, all of those countries, you can uh, get a high salary for sure. And, nowadays, the world is globalized. If you have these skills, that's all the market needs. And you are a staff engineer with more than 12 years of experience. So you're highly qualified for the market. The market wants that. And if I know you have English, you're highly qualified. Doesn't need to be the US, can be Europe. There are Asian countries as well that I know they pay well. So it's not only the US. It's not only the US. There are many other countries that pay very well. It's not, no, Europe pays well. Europe pays well. It's not the same salary. Okay, so any other questions? Because I think we have enough people to start. So, okay, we're going to be talking here about the 4 steps to becoming a highly paid software engineer and have more time for your family, because I know that having time for your family is very important. No one wants to be working a lot and wasting time. So every one of us wants to have a good salary and have more time so that we can enjoy. Otherwise, it has no point. to just have a high salary and have no time. It's just useless. So let's talk about some actions we can take to overcome, to get those benefits. So for those who don't know me, I'm Rafael Del Nero, and I help Java developers to break their career limits so they become highly paid software engineers and highly employable. So why it's important to be in this webinar? Uh, because in this webinar, I will help you elaborate a plan to action to gain clarity on what are the next steps in your career. I'm going to also help you work on yourself to overcome your limiting beliefs, because everyone has limiting beliefs. I had many limiting beliefs. I overcame many of them. Of course, the more we grow, we will still have some limiting beliefs, but we have to be always working on them and overcoming those limiting beliefs as much as possible. I'm going to help you communicate better. I know that no developer likes to talk to improve their communication skills, because we are developers. We want technical stuff. We want to develop services in the cloud. We want to see Java. We want to see all of those stuff. But I perceived that in my career, the communication skill is very important. So even though we don't like it, I know no developer likes communication. It's boring, but to go to the next level of software engineer, you have to communicate better. Actually, that's the only way to stand out as a software engineer, is to be good at communication. Because if you can't communicate clearly, you can't convince anyone from your ideas. You can't influence anyone. You can't be a go-to person. You can't, it limits you so much. So it's extremely important to have better communication skills. How to negotiate. I know that many developers neglect that as well. And what happened is that the companies have the advantage, right? The companies have the advantage because they are negotiating every day. And when we neglect this skill, we're going to have low salaries. So it's extremely important to at least learn a little bit of a negotiation. And if you know at least a little bit about a negotiation, that will raise your salary to another level. And I know nobody likes about a negotiation. No developer likes to talk about a negotiation as well. But it's something very important, because if you only work on your technical skills, but you don't know how to communicate or how to negotiate, you can't have a high salary. It's very difficult. And you're going to also learn how to market yourself as a software engineer, because it doesn't matter how good you are. You can be the very best in the world. If nobody knows you, it doesn't matter. Because so basically you need to market yourself. You need to let people know that you know your stuff. Otherwise, you won't be highly employable software engineer. So those skills, I know developers don't like to hear them very much, but those skills combined with your technical skills take you to the next level. I'm not saying that technical skills are not important. They are extremely important. Otherwise, we are not software engineers. We need to be technical. But if we combine those concepts, we go to the next level in our careers. So why it's worth it to be here? Because I'm going to show you how to earn more working less, how to become more confident and overcome your fears. Because we have a lot of fears. I had the fear of public speaking, and because I faced this fear I had, nowadays I conquered this fear. So I'm gonna teach you some things you can do to overcome your fears. I'm gonna be able to increase your current salary with some techniques. I'm gonna tell you to you here. But also help you to work with better technologies and projects. And I heard that there is, let me see here again, who is working with Java 6. Yeah, it's Husan. Husan is working with Java 6. So you need to either convince people in your company to go to at least Java 11, because Java 8 is kind of old already. You know, either you convince them to upgrade from Java 6 to Java 11, or you go to another company, because Java 6 is so old that it doesn't make any sense for a company to keep Java 6. So we're going to help you to work with better projects and technologies. Obviously, to have more time for you so that you can have quality time with your family and enjoy more life, and then be more valued and in high demand by large companies. And also, I'm going to tell you a story from me uh, on how I overcame some limitations I had and how this impacted my career. So back in the days, I was stuck in my career. For many years, I've seen a lot of people getting promoted, and I was in the same place. I was stuck. I was only focusing on technical knowledge. And even though I could stand out because of my technical skills, I wasn't growing. I wasn't going to the next level as a software engineer. I wasn't upgrading my title in the company I was working for. Then I realized, okay, there is something wrong. Definitely there's something wrong here. And then I was thinking, okay, so what can I do to improve? What can I do to get promoted? And then I started going to conferences. I went to a famous conference in Brazil, and there I saw a talk from my mentor, and he told me that even though technical skills were extremely important, they weren't enough. I had to improve other skills. I had to improve my communication, negotiation, and my mindset as well, because actually I was afraid to talk to my manager and say, hey, I've been doing that. I've been bringing this value to this company. So I think it's the time for me to get promoted. I never had the courage to do that. But then after hearing my mentor saying, hey, you have to overcome your fears, you have to value yourself as a software engineer, you have to know how to negotiate, have to know how to communicate clearly, then that's changed. Then I said, okay, even though I was very good technically, I was seeing like the reference in my company, I wasn't getting promoted because I was focusing only on technical skills. And then when I start shifting my skills, when I started focusing on communication and negotiation on under all of those skills, and when I got combined the technical and all of those skills, then I could get my promotion. And this happened because of a change on my mindset. And that's why I'm gonna show you some of those concepts so that you can also apply in your career. Okay, so any questions so far? We don't have much time, so I'm gonna choose some questions here. So Hussam is saying, Rafael, much time I read your articles on your blog and your LinkedIn. I always like your posts. I just want you, okay, how to become a Java champion. That's a good question, Hussam. I created a video specifically for that, but I will summarize to you how to become a Java champion. So you need to create an impact for the Java community. So basically, that's the key. When you become someone who creates value to the Java community, you become someone who is a strong candidate to become a Java champion. Because you can notice every Java champion, they made big contributions to the Java community. You can see that many of the Java champions are jug leaders. Many of the Java champions are book writers. They are popular on bloggers. They are always creating some impact in the Java community. So if I can summarize how to become a Java champion, you have to share your knowledge, which is connected on how to market yourself, right? Because I know that there are developers, extremely good developers, very, very good, on the very top of their skill, but they don't know how to market themselves. So that's the problem. So even though there are developers, I know that there are developers who are extremely good, and but they are only well known on their companies. They don't go beyond that point. So that's the key. If I can summarize to you how to become a Java champion, you have to make an impact in the Java community, and you have to share your knowledge, because then you're going to market yourself. And if you market yourself well enough, you're going to get an amazing job much more easily, because it won't be you who will be looking for jobs anymore. The companies will reach out to you, because when you share knowledge, you build trust. Okay, so I think you can get one more question. Whenever you earn, you pay tax remaining. Yeah, we have to pay tax for sure. So Ramesh, the salary in Europe is good. Maybe make a research in some countries. It depends on the countries you look for. There are countries in Europe that pays well. For example, France, Germany, Ireland, um, England, the UK. Usually they pay well. So there are other countries that they don't pay well here in Europe. But take a look. Take a look in the countries. Okay, so let's continue here. Okay, great. Okay, so I will share my screen. Yeah, Luxembourg, yeah, they pay very well there. Okay, let's get started then. So those are the first steps to become a highly paid software engineer and have more time for you and for your family. Before everything, it's important for you to take some action. So if you can take notes, you can choose Google Docs, or you can take notes on your notebook, whatever you prefer. So those are the topics we're going to explore: how to get clarity so that you achieve whatever you want in your career. We're going to be also talking about technologies that are relevant in the market, how to boost your CV so that you can market yourself better as software engineer, how to effectively communicate, how to learn more quickly, how to negotiate your salary so that you can either get a raise or get a higher salary with other companies, how to give a talk, because if you're able to combine your technical skills with giving talks, you create a lot of impact, and companies, the best companies, will be willing to hire you, and how to share your knowledge. So step one, no procrastination. So the first thing you have to realize is, what is your dream? So dreams are different than goals, which means that dreams are big goals. They are big goals that will take time to achieve. So we're going to have to develop a weekly plan so that you can achieve your big dream. So what can you do to understand what is really your dream? You can reflect and by walking in nature, for example. So when you're walking in nature, that helps you to think more clearly. And then you can reflect. Then you can say, hey, okay, that's my big dream. I'm gonna take those actions to get there. And obviously, when you achieve one dream, we can always achieve others. So, for example, my dream was to work in Europe. Then I moved from Brazil to um, Europe, and I'm working here as a software engineer. And like I said, a dream is a long-term objective, so it will take time. You're gonna have to set daily goals so that you can achieve this long-term objective. It's not easy, but it's worth it. If you achieve your dream, you feel fulfilled. And obviously, to achieve a dream, consistent actions are key. So we don't learn a technology overnight. We don't learn a skill overnight. It takes time and consistency. So that's why I talk so much about daily goals. That's crucial. So what are the dream killers? It's when we have many plans. Usually when we have many plans, that leads to no action. When I have many plans, when I have everything in my head, I feel overwhelmed, for example. And that's natural because if you have many plans, how can you achieve that? It's impossible. You have your personal life, you have your 9 to 5 job, you have a lot of things going on in your life. So that's why you have to be focused. You have to have a clear plan. Otherwise, you procrastinate. That's for sure. This will make you procrastinate. Not knowing where to start. This is very common with software engineers because there are so many technologies. We don't know what to learn. So sometimes we just get overwhelmed and we see, okay, I don't know even where to start, so I will procrastinate forever. That happens a lot. No daily habits. So if you don't have any daily habits, it's difficult. It's difficult to achieve a long-term goal, a long-term dream. You have to have daily habits. You have to plan, have to be strategic. Uh, One of the most common excuses I hear is, oh, I have no time. So instead of saying that you have no time, you say, I'm not prioritizing what's important to me. Because when you say that, then you're being accountable. You're being accountable. You can say, okay, it's my fault. It's not that I have no time. I'm not prioritizing what's important for me. And there are a lot more limiting beliefs. I don't know, you can think, oh, I didn't have a good education. I wasn't born in the right country, or my parents, they are the people that I have to blame. There are many limiting beliefs, and um, and that is going for sure to limit your career growth. So the more we tackle our limiting beliefs, the more we grow. And how to find out your dreams? You have to ask yourself what would be amazing for you. And you can be really ambitious here. You don't need to be afraid. You can write down what would be amazing for you. And then you can reflect about your life and think, so why not you? Because if you achieve your dreams, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to deliver more value. So it's not being greedy, it's different. You don't need to harm anyone else. You're just working on yourself and creating more impact. And find out what are your passions and motivations. So what makes you passionate about software development? Do you like to write clean code? Do you like to build architectures? Do you like to do system design? Do you like to model databases? Do you like to work with security or big data or AI, whatever you like? What are your passions and motivations? Figure this out because um, because then you can solve a very specific problem to the market, and that makes you a highly valuable software engineer. So, what is your biggest dreams in life? So, I'm gonna ask you to type in the chat. What is your biggest dreams? You can choose personal life, professional, financial, and then you can even imagine what is the ultimate level that you imagine yourself. So you can write it down with as much details as possible because when you go out of your head, things are far more likely to happen. The problem is if you are always inside your head and you don't put your ideas out, then you're gonna be always confused. So it's important for you to write it down. Write down what is your biggest dreams. So you can write now in the chat what is your biggest dreams for personal, professional, and financial. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any message. So write it down because then we can engage a little bit. Okay, so let's see if we have any questions. Yeah, you are allowed to have multiple dreams, yes. But it's better, Hussein, if you have a specific dream because if you have many dreams, like I said, many plans take to no action. Yeah, personal life, yeah. Yeah, what is your dream for your personal life, professional life? So maybe to go faster, let's focus on professional. So what is your professional biggest dream? So what do you want for your career as a Java software engineer? What is your biggest dream? What is your biggest ambition? We can wait a little bit until you write down. So everyone, Ankit, Husam, who else? Ramesh, João. Okay, achieving very sound financial state. Okay, so yeah, to be a highly paid software engineer. Cultivated, okay. Become a Java champion. I want specifically before. Awesome, that's great. That's very ambitious plan. To become a Java champion is ambitious. That's great. That's awesome. Okay, so anyone else? So I don't want to wait too much on that. But if you want to write it down, that would be great. Okay, let's continue. Okay, challenge 2, create smarter goals. So before creating your goals, you have to always be developing yourself on the journey. So, and what I mean by that, I mean that we should be always developing our mindset. I know this is not technical, but it's still very important because there will be times in your career that you're gonna have to be courageous. You're gonna have to be able to step in. Um, you're gonna have to do things that are out of your comfort zone, and those things are difficult to do. So you have to be always developing yourself in the journey. And whatever you do, play full out. Do the very best in whatever you do. In everything you do your very best. Even when you're tying up your bed, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And success starts within, not outside. So if you are relying on external people to validate you, you'll be always uh, feeling a hole in your in yourself, and um, you're gonna feel empty, and it's gonna be difficult to go to the next level in your career. So what I mean that success starts within is that you have to be always striving to develop your mindset and so that you are able to keep up with your goals, to study, to build your projects and get better software engineer. So this foreign interior empires was shared by Robin Sharma. I really like his content and we can use that. So to be a sharp software engineer, we have to be healthy. So, and it's not very difficult to be healthy. You can do exercises 3 days a week. You can eat well, meaning that we should avoid junky food at least, well, no more than 3 times a week. Hard set, let go disappointments from the past. Why? Because if you are dwelling on the disappointments from the past, that will drain energy from you. And for example, that will make things more difficult for you to learn a new technology, to be a better Java developer. So to let go disappointments from the past is very important because then you can have more focus. You can use your energy in what is important. So set, living for a cause greater than yourself. So if you find a cause that is really important for you, maybe you can solve a problem with software. You can build a software. You can participate in an open source project that you believe in the cause. And then as a byproduct, you're going to also become a better software engineer. And your mindset. So mindset is so important. There are so many good personal development books because when you read those books, you bulletproof the way you think. So then, for example, failure, you don't see failure as a failure anymore. You see as a way to be successful because you can see the most successful people in the world are the ones who failed the most. So that's why mindset is so important. Even though we are software engineers, we want to see technical stuff, we don't care much about those things, but I want to change your view to show you that this is important. You can only get to a very high level in your career and in your life if you have those four interior empires calibrated in your life. Eliminate limiting beliefs. So I had the limiting belief that I could never give a talk because I was only technical person. But then I changed that. I was able to give a talk, and well, I'm giving a talk here, and this proves that I'm not a purely technical person. And also, if someone already made it, you can also make it. For example, if I made it, you can make it for sure. And don't ever say negative things about yourself because even when you say negative things in a kind of joking, you're gonna be programming your subconscious mind to believe that you are those negative things you say. You have to train your mindset consistently to be sharp because there will be adversities in life, and if your mindset is not calibrated, you're gonna suffer a lot. So again, I know that mindset, if I say that to you, you say, hey, but I thought we would be talking about Java and career. I know, but mindset before Java, before everything, will build a foundation for you to be a better Java developer. So I want to open your eyes that this is important. This is really, really important. When I started to learn more about mindset, things changed. I'm far more confident than what I was before. So create smarter goals. So for example, my simple plan to get a job in Ireland, so send CVs to a company in Ireland. 15 minutes every day. Go to LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, and do it. Risky from 10 CVs. You get your opportunities. Time keyed. 3 months doing it approximately. Exciting because you're feeling alive, you're talking in English, and it's relevant because it's going to change your whole life. Obviously, moving to another country will change your whole life. It will change everything. Okay, so plan out your week. So this is the Challenger Planner. And I'm going to share with you here the link. So I'm going to show you quickly how to use it. Let me open it here. Let me stop sharing. So you don't need exactly to use that, okay? But it's just a way to plan your week. Okay, I see that most of you are here in the document. That's great. You're taking action. Yeah, that's the way to improve, only by taking action. So you can put here your daily plans. You can make a copy of this document and you can create your own plan. And here you can write the day. And here you can just put a flag that all is done. So here you can also write your gratitude, because gratitude is an exercise. So you can say whatever you are grateful for, to be healthy or to have a family, to have a job, of those things. And here is the big five. So your big five is basically your big five goals that you want to achieve in the year. So what do you want? So write it down, even though you are not really sure what would be great for you. Write it down, because when you write it down, you get out of your mind. And that makes you closer. That makes you closer to achieve your goal. So get this document, take some notes of what would be your weekly plan, because that will help you already. That will help you to have some clarity. Okay, so let's continue then. And if you have any questions, just send a message on the chat. But it's very simple. It's basically just put there whatever is the plan you want to achieve your goals. Okay, but let's continue. Okay, there's also the QR code here if you think it's easier. Learning quickly. So understand the big picture. So to learn quickly, it's important for you to understand the big picture of a concept. So what can you do? You can check the table of contents from books. You can check on Wikipedia about the topic as well. And nowadays on YouTube, you can find videos about everything, right? So you can check for the big picture of a concept of a technology you want to learn. That will help you to have a general view, and that will accelerate your learning. Because remember, we don't need to know 100% of any technology. If you know 20%, you're going to be able to do 80% of the things you need. So you don't need to know very deeply technologies because, nowadays it's even impossible. There are thousands of choices to build microservices nowadays. And most companies are using cloud projects. So we need to know how to learn enough to solve our problems. And write down what are the important points, what are those important points from the big picture. Because like I said, you don't need to know 100% of that concept. If you know 20%, that's enough to get you going. Define the scope. So for example, if you want to learn Java, you will create a small web application that will create, update, delete, and read registers in a database. You can define an approximate time to accomplish what you defined and define how many hours a week you're going to dedicate to it. That doesn't need to be a very complicated plan. Just create a simple plan to get it done. And define success goals. So, for example, if you want to learn Docker, do something useful with the knowledge you have. So you can containerize a Java with a MongoDB application. Then you can deploy this containerized application in the cloud. You can run that application in the cloud, and you can access it and use your application. Another great way to study, to learn more quickly, is to learn from different resources. So you can learn from books, articles, source code, online documentation, pair programming. There are lots of ways. Before going to the next topic, stay tuned because there will be a surprise here. And it will be a game changer for your career. So stay to the end of this talk because that will be a game changer for your career. Challenge 4, boost your CV. So understand the market. So the first thing you have to do is to understand the market. So I think it's obvious. I think every one of you know that, but the market is focusing on cloud projects. Almost every company are using microservices. Even if they don't need microservices, they will be using microservices. Why? Because the big companies are using microservices. So it's really important to understand and learn about microservices because that's just the new default in the market. And obviously, you have to aim your CV to what the market wants. It doesn't matter to have skills. Well, it will be very rare companies that will hire you because you know Struts. And nobody wants to work with old technologies anyway, because that won't help you to become better software engineer. It will actually get you stuck. So on your LinkedIn profile, what can you do to make it better? So you can choose keywords where you want to put the biggest highlights. And then you can separate it by type. So I put here an example of my profile. I'm just separated by pipes. And I just put the things that cause the biggest impact. So when someone looks at my profile, they will say, hey, oh, okay, I see what is the biggest impact here in Rafael's profile. You can do the same on your profile. You can put your position. If you're a staff software engineer, put there staff software engineer. If you're a principal software engineer, put there. If you're senior, make it explicit because That's an achievement. It's not easy to become a senior, to become a principal, to become an architect. So make sure that you have that on your profile. Focus about the um, about session is the most important. So this is the section on your profile where you're gonna tell potential employers about your um, biggest achievement. So, for example, I know that many of you here have more than 10 years of experience, so you should definitely put there on your about session, and you should make it explicit on your about session that you are experienced with cloud projects because that's what the market is asking for. So if you have experience and if you are proficient with cloud technologies, companies will hire you. So make sure you put the most valuable content there. Photo. Who's a professional photographer and smile on the photo? That's important because when you smile on the photo, that makes you look like more confident and more friendly. And if you are very serious, you're not very approachable. And I'm showing here one example on the left that if you don't even put a picture, you can't create any impact. And I have the example of my picture. So this is a professional picture. That makes a big difference. And you can do the same. You can hire a professional photographer and you can use it on your LinkedIn. Ask for recommendation. So this is the universal law of reciprocity. So when you do something to someone first, you're gonna get something back. Usually you're gonna get something back. So to get a recommendation on LinkedIn, give a recommendation first from someone you respect in your job. You say, hey, that guy is good. I'm gonna send a recommendation to that guy. Then you send a recommendation. Then you say, hey, by the way, it would be nice if you could send a recommendation to me as well. And usually people will give you the recommendation back, but in this situation, it's important for you to be a giver, meaning that when you give the recommendation, don't expect anything back. If they give a recommendation back, that's great. If they don't, that's fine as well. Challenge 5, negotiating your salary. So the first thing when you are in a negotiation, the very first thing is to figure out how much you can ask. So information during a negotiation is crucial. How can you find out about the price, the salary? You can look at glassdoor.com. Usually developers won't put their real salary on Glassdoor, so you can put a error margin of 30% less, 30 or 40% less, or something like that. But at least we'll give you an idea if you look at Glassdoor. Ask your friends. So close friends, just ask them directly, what's your salary? Don't need to uh, use a lot of words here. You just ask directly. If you're asking someone in your job, you can say, hey, for someone in your position, what is the salary range? Then if you ask the salary range, then they don't need to tell you their exact salary. As recruiters, they will give you some information. But of course, they are negotiating with you, so they might not give you the full information. So just be aware of that and look for opportunities on LinkedIn. So if someone offers you an opportunity and they don't tell you the salary, you just say a very high salary and you see if they accept that. And when you are doing the interview, you have to drive your value up to the company's eyes. So you have to show maturity in the way you communicate. You have to show that you're highly skilled. And you have to talk about the problem they have. So usually in an interview, they will tell you what's their biggest problem. And if they don't tell you, you can ask them what are their biggest problem, because then you can tell them how you can solve their problems. So if you do that, you're gonna become someone very valuable to them, and they're gonna be willing to hire you, and they're gonna be willing to pay you a good salary for that. And when you are doing interviews and when you are looking for jobs, usually the very first question recruiters will tell you, or the company, you say, hey, what is your current salary? Most developers will tell their current salaries. And that's a mistake because if you tell your current salary, the whole negotiation process will be based on your salary. And you will be in a disadvantage. You're going to be in an even greater disadvantage if you know that you are low paid in the market. Then they will negotiate your salary based on the current salary you have, not based on your skills. So that's the problem. So when they ask you about your salary, you say, hey, sorry, it's confidential. If they push you, you say that you have an NDA contract and you can't reveal this information. And yeah, so if you don't reveal your salary, then you are in advantage. You can tell your price. You can say, hey, that's the price. That's what I want to. That's the salary I want. So that's a much better approach. Challenge 6: communicate better. So Warren Buffett, one of the richest persons in the world, he says that if you can't communicate, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens. And if you can't communicate and talk to other people and get across your ideas, you're giving up your potential. And that's true. That's true. In our area, this is true as well. So this is the process of communication. You send a message, this message is encoded and decoded, and when you're working abroad, you're going to be working with people from different countries and different cultures. And sometimes your message will be misunderstood. It's going to be decoded in a way that you weren't expecting. So ask for feedback. Even when you think that your message was delivered successfully, ask for feedback because uh, it could. So the other person could not understand. Maybe the other person didn't understand your message. So ask for feedback to make sure. 10 tips for effective communication. Present yourself well. So what I mean by that? So present yourself well is to wear some nice clothes that suit your body. That will make a big difference. So people will see you um, as someone who takes care of yourself. So that's great. And so unfortunately, people will judge us by what we are wearing. So if you present yourself well, you're just taking advantage of this reality. Clarity on topic. So when you're talking about something, don't switch context. Just be very focused and clear. Deliver the message effectively. So how can you do that? You can ask for feedback. Body language. So if you are curved like that, or if you show uh, a position that um, shows that you are not confident, that will make things more difficult for you. So when you are standing like that, just keep your um, this part here, your shoulders straight as well, because then, well, that will give you a lot more confidence when you are talking, and that will show other people that you care about your body, that you care about your back, you care about your health, and that automatically makes you more valuable and more confident. I know this is a very simple thing, but this makes a difference, even more in an interview. Like if you are all curved like that and you have no intonation on your voice, people will see you as not confident. So when you are talking, your intonation, your voice intonation is very important because that also shows confidence. If I was talking in one tone like that, oh, but yeah, you shouldn't do that. Oh, yes, you should communicate clearly. If I was talking like that, it would show that have no confidence, right? So your voice intonation is important. So work on that. Check for understanding, like I said. Ask appropriate questions. Ask questions that will um, help you to get an agreement. Actively listen. So what is that? To actively listen is to really listen to the other person. It's to wait until the person finishes what they are saying and not cut them off while they are talking. And recap. Recap is so important because when you do a recap, you um, you make people remember more easily whatever you talked about. And closure. So you can ask if people have any questions. Step 4, no hiding. Challenge 7, share knowledge. So this is very connected to how to market yourself as a software engineer. So why should we share what we know? Because then we get the best job opportunities. We also improve our communication skills. So we don't only improve our communication skills when we are giving talks. We improve our communication skills when we write as well. So if you write articles, that will help you to structure ideas in your mind. That will help you to communicate more clearly. You're going to also solidify your knowledge. So whatever you share. So if you want to learn a new technology, you can write blog posts about those technologies because that will help you so much to really understand that technology, and that will be worth it. You're going to also grow as a person. And when you share your knowledge, you can empower other people, and that's fulfilling. Find your focus, because if you have your focus, you have less or zero competition, and that's what you want. You want to have zero competition. Um, if you get to that level of having zero competition, that's the best place you can ever be. So I learned this focus phrase with Bruno Souza. It's a Java man. So basically so if you share your knowledge, it's better to be focused. So you can say, I help uh, your audience, probably Java developers, to do your contribution so that they get something for their lives. So this focus phrase example I have, helping Java developers to master the core concepts of Java to code quality software for stress-free projects with fewer bugs. To start sharing, create a plan to action. Create around 20 content titles. Learn how to create tantalizing titles, titles that people will want to click and read their blog post. Define how often you will create content. For example, I am creating articles every week. That's worth it because while I'm sharing my knowledge, I'm also learning and I'm helping Java developers to improve their skills as well. Because I went through many situations in my career, and if I can share that and help you, that will be much easier for you. So, let me know if you have any questions so far. Okay, I see one question here from Hosam. So there is a blog post I wrote exactly about that. I will share that later. So there are many books there. You can send me a private message later. I can send you. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's recap here. So what we talked about getting clarity. We talked about the best technologies that we should focus as a Java developer, how to boost our CV, because we need to make companies aware that we are highly skilled, how to communicate effectively so that we are more effective on interviews, how to learn quickly, how to negotiate our salary, and to avoid telling the company what's our current salary, how to give a talk, and how to share our knowledge and why this is important. Okay, so if you have any other questions, in the meantime, let me share here the books. Okay, so you can read this blog post later. So any questions, guys? If you have any questions so far, just send your question. So okay, so yes, guys. So I told you, I gave you here a lot of information to help you in your career, and this is the very least you need to know to increase your career results, to have more results in your career. And just by applying those concepts we discussed here, you're going to see results happening bit by bit. And now, the question I ask you is if you really want to accelerate and get results faster in your career. Do you want that? If you want that, just write yes on the chat. Write yes because the actions taker, people who take action, are people who get ahead. People who hesitate on taking action, it takes a long time for them to get ahead. So be an action taker. That's extremely important. So just type yes if you want to accelerate and get results fast in your career. So, and beyond this talk, beyond this, all this content I share with you, here's an extra tip: having a mentor. So important. That was a game changer in my career. I had a mentor, and as this mentor went through many experiences and many things that I would have to learn myself, I could grow far more quickly. And this is for sure something that makes a big difference. And why do I think that having a mentor is important? Because obviously I have much faster results. Because a mentor, you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. And a mentor will also help me to have more clarity in every step I take. So sometimes, and that's normal, sometimes we have many plans and we don't know exactly what to do. But by talking to a mentor, we can get out of our mind and be more clear on what really we want to achieve. And we have assertive targeting, which means that we're going to be targeting a specific goal and we're going to be working towards this goal. And obviously, we're going to make fewer mistakes and less time. We're gonna waste less time, much less time, because without a mentor, we go everywhere haphazardly. We don't know what to do, and we procrastinate, and we take no action, and then we don't grow. Then we stay stuck in our career. It's much more difficult without a mentor. Encouragement. Uh, so obviously, with a mentor, we have encouragement, and our confidence level increases. We have quicker solutions to unforeseen problems. So during our journey, we're gonna have problems, we're gonna have situations, adversities that for us it might be something very difficult, but with a mentor will say, "Hey, I went through that, so why don't you take this action?" So having a mentor is a game changer on that as well. And we have accelerated development and focus on discipline. And this is very important. Without discipline, we can't achieve anything. And a mentor ends up to be a coach as well. So someone who will make you accountable to take the necessary action to achieve what you want. So that's another reason that it's a game changer to have a mentor. And obviously, you're going to have answers to the questions you have along the way. So on your journey, you're going to have several questions. You're going to have, hey, how can I do that? How can I achieve that? Is this worth it? How, you know, you're going to have a lot of questions during the way, and you can ask the mentor. Okay, so and as I said before, just these lessons today, you can already have significant results in your career just by knowing those concepts. But with a mentor, this process will speed up at least 3, 5 times or 10 times even. So since you're gonna avoid a lot of mistakes and things will be much easier for you along the journey. And I learned, like I said, I learned a lot from my mentors. And in short, if you have a mentor, you're gonna save time and money because you're gonna increase and accelerate your results. So having a mentor will also save you a lot of time. I can say that the result I have nowadays, maybe it will take me 10 to 15 years to get the results I have today. But with a mentor, I had the results in 1 year. So that's an extreme, that's a big difference. Therefore, the main lesson for today is that if you want to improve your career results, start now to apply what I taught you in this webinar. But if you want to accelerate it, you want to achieve results that you can't even imagine. And achieving a comfortable and secure financial condition for you and having more time for your family as well. So yeah, to have a mentor will accelerate your results in your career and will save you lots of time. Okay, great. I see the answer from João. Yes, that's amazing. Okay, so now the surprise. Let's see here. So the surprise is the career conversation. And in this career conversation, I will help you clarify what you really want to achieve in your career. I will help you to create a plan so that you know, okay, those are the actions I need to take to get there, and those are the obstacles I'm going through. Hey, Rafael, what should I do? I will help you to eliminate those obstacles. I'm going to also help you eliminate limiting beliefs, because I had limiting belief that I was purely a technical person. But then since I faced my fears, I was able to overcome this limiting belief. And I will give you insights for you to upgrade your career. So when we are inside our minds, we stay stuck. We don't know exactly what to do. We have a lot of confusion, a lot of doubts, and I have this conversation. I'm going to help you to give insights for your career. And it's worth it every penny. It's worth it every penny. Because, for example, I paid my mentor $1,500 for 1 hour conversation. And I must tell you that it is worth it every penny. Even though it's a 1 hour conversation, it's $1,500. It's worth it, because one conversation can possibly double your salary because of one insight you have, or because of one conversation can give you the opportunity of your life, can give you the opportunity of your career. So imagine if you double your salary, what is $1,500? It's nothing. To double your salary, your life will change. So it's worth it every penny. And directly on the Java Challengers website, the investment of the career conversation will be $177. And you can see it's much less than what I paid to my mentor. It's not even close from $1,500. So, and this is what you find in Java Challengers website. You can go there, you can check. There is the menu there, career conversation. And you're gonna find it's $177. So, however, because you finished this webinar, you won't even pay half of that. So you're gonna be able to do a career conversation for the price of a pizza, which is ridiculous. It's a symbolic price. And I'm just doing that because I want people who are committed. I want people who want to improve in their career. I want the action takers. I want the developers who want to go to the next level. Because if I was doing here the career conversation for free, I'm sure that I would have many developers willing to talk to me. I would waste my time, and they would waste their time as well, because we would have a conversation without any commitment. So I want only the developers who are committed to overcome their career challenges and who really want to go to the next level. So that's why I have this symbolic price, because I want to see who are the action takers here, who are the developers who really want to go to the next level. And as a present, I will also give you the Golden Lessons book. As I said, mindset is extremely important. And so to be a sharp software engineer and to really improve in our career, we need to always be working in our mindset. And the Golden Lessons book, I compiled 100 insights, 100 lessons that helped me to overcome my career challenges, to overcome my fears, to overcome my limiting beliefs. And you can use all of those 100 insights in your career so that you can go to the next level. So those insights I took from more than 200 books that I read. So I read a lot of books about personal development, because, as I said, we need to have a sharp mindset to go to the next level in our career. And that's why it's important for you as a Java developer to read this book. And you're gonna get the Golden Lessons book for free. So you take it, this special offer from Career Conversation. So in my website is $177. You can go there on the Java Challengers website and you can check the price. The Golden Lessons book, something around $10. The total would be $186. Okay? However, because you were here with me until the end, I will make a symbolic price. So you're gonna get the career conversation with me, a one-on-one conversation with me, the Golden Lessons book, to improve your mindset. There are a lot of important lessons there for only $20. So this is the price of a pizza. This is ridiculous. This is symbolic price because, like I said, I want the action takers. I want people who are compromised, people who are committed to go to the next level. And obviously, like it's not even a huge commitment. This is just $20, right? But anyway, even with symbolic price, I will have for sure developers who have the intention to go to the next level. And yeah, you can use the QR code. You can access the link to get the career conversation with me. You can schedule a time that suits you, and then we can have this conversation. You're gonna get the Golden Lessons book as well, and all of that by only $20. So it's really cheap and definitely worth it. So who wants to grow in your career? Just say yes in the chat, because that's a game changer for you. And now the decision is yours. Now you have three options. You have the option of do nothing and continue where you are and how you are, or you can take what you have seen in today's webinar and try to put it in practice in yourself. And yes, you'll get results, but you used to make a lot of mistakes and waste time to correct and get each step correctly. Or you have the third option, which is the easiest and the most reasonable, where you choose the shortest and the fastest path. You secure a career conversation with me for the promotional value instead of paying $177 in my website, and receive a personalized plan to leverage your career. So I'm going to be talking with you and I'm going to be asking you questions that will make you realize, okay, what is my next step? What technology I want to learn? What's my studying plan? Where should I go? So we're going to have this conversation so that you can really deliver, you can really develop this clarity. And there aren't many spots for this conversation. I can have only 5 career conversations. So the earlier you reserve your spot, the better, because then you can guarantee that you're going to have our conversation. So I know that there are many objections. There are many things that we think when we want to make a decision to get a course or a mentoring session. We still have a lot of questions. And so maybe one thing that you might be thinking, will the career plan take too much time of me? It's actually the opposite, because by having this conversation, it won't take time from you. It will actually save you a lot of time, because if you have the clarity and if you know exactly what steps to take, that will save you a lot of time. So instead of being inside your head. You're going to be out of your mind. I'm going to help you to elaborate a plan that will make sense to you, a plan that will make you go much faster, because only thinking and being inside your head is a strong sign of procrastination and self-sabotage. So we have to take action as much as possible, because then we grow. Then we grow. And once you have your plan, once you have your focus, which we will have this conversation. So this career conversation, one of the main goals is to give you the clarity. You're gonna have a priority. And then once you have a priority, once you know what to do, you're gonna be very focused and you're gonna save so much time. The other thing that we think when we are acquiring a product or anything like that, we say, oh, it costs money. So I already told you why there is an investment, and you can't really think that it costs money. It's actually an investment for you in your career. And $20 is the price of a pizza. It's just symbolic price, because in this conversation, potentially you will have an insight to um, increase your salary or to even double your salary. This was the case with me. I was able to double my salary because of some insights I had from a mentor. So this conversation is really powerful. And the reason that it has the investments, like I will reinforce that, is because once you do investment, then you are committing yourself to have the conversation. You're committing yourself that, okay, I want to improve my career. So, and like I said, if I was doing this conversation career for free, I would have many people willing to talk with me, but with no commitment. So it's important to have this level of commitment between me and between you. And you might think, oh, I'm not good enough. But if you really think that you're not good enough, that's a very strong reason to have this conversation with me, because that's I will help you to be more confident. So that's one of my main jobs as a mentor. So I will help you to be more confident and to overcome your limiting beliefs and to overcome your main obstacles in your career. So if you think you're not good enough, that's a very good reason to really schedule this conversation with me, because then you're going to understand, okay, so why do you think you're not good enough? Even though you work with software development for more than 10 years, you are doing amazing stuff. So what is the issue? So we're going to be talking about that. So if you think you're not good enough, that's a good reason to um, schedule this conversation with me so that we can go through what's going on exactly. And if all goes wrong, which I guarantee you it won't go wrong, you're gonna lose only $20. So it's for sure this is nothing. And on the other hand, if it works out, like I said, I had this conversation with my mentor, and I was able to double my salary. So what is even $1,500 when I'm able to double my salary? It's nothing. So, and this career conversation with me has a potential to give you those benefits. And so this is a very strong reason to schedule this conversation. And yeah, you can just get the link, or you can scan the QR code. And if you have any questions, send it here in the chat. I still have some time. So, João, Hussam, do you have any questions? And if you don't have any questions, that's pretty much it. You can only get this career conversation today with this promotional price. So, do you have any questions? No, if you don't have any questions, I think that's it. So, thank you so much for being here. And as always, keep doing your best. Okay? So, see you then the next time.